Get ready to discover the rarest and most valuable top 10 Lincoln pennies, packed with errors, rich history, and incredible value. Some are worth millions, turning ordinary change into fortune. Never spend these hidden treasures of numismatic history. The 1-cent Lincoln penny from 1969, with the S mint mark, is one of the most fascinating coins in American numismatic history, admired both for its rarity and the powerful story behind its existence. Unlike ordinary pennies that circulated widely, this coin stands apart due to an extraordinary error that transformed it into a treasure worth millions. The Lincoln penny itself carries a long tradition, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1969, the coin had already become an iconic piece of U.S. coinage, featuring Victor David Brenner's famous portrait of Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had replaced the wheat ears in 1959. What makes the 1969 S penny so rare is a striking error that occurred during its production at the San Francisco Mint. Some of these coins were struck with a double die obverse, meaning the design details on the front were imprinted twice, slightly misaligned, creating a bold doubling effect on the inscriptions. Words like "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" show this doubling most dramatically. At the time, the United States Mint was already grappling with several error coins, but the 1969 S double die penny was so convincing in its doubling effect that authorities initially thought it was a counterfeit. The Secret Service even seized some of these coins when collectors brought them forward, suspecting them of being fakes. However, after closer inspection, experts confirmed that the doubling was genuine and caused during the minting process itself. This revelation instantly turned the 1969 S double die penny into one of the rarest and most desirable error coins in American coinage. Collectors realized they had stumbled upon a numismatic legend. The rarity of this coin lies in the fact that only a very limited number of authentic 1969 S double die pennies are known to exist. Unlike ordinary Lincoln cents that were minted in the billions, this unique error was confined to a small run, making its survival in high grades nearly miraculous. Over the years, the mystique of the 1969 S penny has only grown stronger, with its story of mistaken identity, government intervention, and eventual validation becoming a part of American coin lore. The coin is now recognized not just as a piece of currency but as a cultural and historical artifact. Collectors and coin enthusiasts often describe the 1969 S double die penny as the "holy grail" of Lincoln cents, a coin that elevates an ordinary denomination into something extraordinary. Its combination of rarity, historical context, and visual appeal ensures that it stands above countless other coins in the same series. Each time one of these coins surfaces at auction, it sparks intense excitement among collectors, dealers, and investors alike. The fierce competition to own such a masterpiece of minting history shows just how important the 1969 S penny has become in the coin collecting community. In terms of value, the 1969 S double die penny has astonished the world with record-breaking sales. One of the finest examples sold for an extraordinary $2.96 million, proving that a single cent, when marked by rarity and history, can be worth more than most people could ever imagine. This immense value reflects not only the scarcity of the coin but also the passion of collectors willing to pay top price for a chance to secure a place in history. For many, the coin is more than metal. It represents a moment of luck, discovery, and prestige in the world of numismatics. The legacy of the 1969 S Lincoln penny continues to inspire both seasoned collectors and newcomers to the hobby, reminding everyone that hidden treasures can be found in the most unexpected places, and that even a humble cent can carry a story worth millions. Next is the 1-cent Lincoln penny from 1982, with D mint mark, holds a unique place in American numismatic history as it represents a transitional period when the composition of pennies shifted from copper to copper-plated zinc. This change was made to reduce production costs, and as a result, coins from this year carry a special legacy that attracts both historians and collectors alike. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, has always been a symbol of national pride. By 1982, with D mint mark, the Denver Mint was producing millions of pennies, but a mixture of both copper and zinc versions appeared, creating varieties that became essential for collectors to study carefully. What makes the 1982, with D mint mark penny so fascinating is the variety of sizes and compositions. Some coins were struck in copper weighing 3.11 grams, while others were made in zinc weighing 2.5 grams. These differences, though subtle, became highly valuable because of the rarity of specific combinations and the errors made during the minting process. Collectors often look at the font, spacing, and strike of the date on the 1982, with D mint mark penny, as well as the design details. Small date and large date versions exist, and when paired with different compositions, they create a complex set of varieties that can dramatically affect the coin's rarity and value. Over time, the coin community has realized that the 1982, with D mint mark penny is not simply a common cent but a key transitional coin. Its significance lies in being part of the last year the U.S. Mint used mostly copper before fully converting to zinc, a change that shaped the future of American coinage for decades. The Denver Mint, where the 1982, with D mint mark pennies were produced, has a long reputation for efficiency and high-quality minting. However, transitional years often leave room for errors, and certain mistakes from this year have given rise to some of the most desirable and valuable Lincoln cents in history. For collectors, the thrill of discovering a rare 1982, with D mint mark penny is unmatched. Many coins appear ordinary at first glance, but when weighed, examined under magnification, and properly identified, some reveal themselves as treasures worth far more than their face value. Historians and enthusiasts also recognize the coin's cultural impact. The 1982, with D mint mark penny marks a turning point not just in composition but in the way people viewed everyday currency, realizing that even a simple cent could become an item of immense value. Over the decades, the market for these coins has grown rapidly. The 1982, with D mint mark penny has appeared in auctions, private sales, and professional coin grading catalogs, drawing the attention of serious investors who see it as both a historical artifact and a financial opportunity. The true value of the rarest 1982, with D mint mark penny has reached an astonishing $2 million. This figure reflects the combination of its scarcity, transitional year status, and collector demand. Only a handful of such pennies exist in pristine condition, and that rarity drives extraordinary auction prices. Stories of lucky finds fuel the fascination further. There are accounts of people discovering a 1982, with D mint mark penny in old jars or family collections, turning a simple cent into a life-changing fortune. These tales inspire others to check their pocket change carefully, hoping to uncover hidden treasures. The legacy of the 1982, with D mint mark penny continues to grow with each passing year. More collectors enter the hobby, more stories surface, and the market only becomes more competitive. What started as a small copper-to-zinc transition has now transformed into one of the most exciting and valuable chapters in American numismatic history. Next is the 1-cent Lincoln penny from 1973, with the D mint mark, holds a fascinating place in American numismatic history. Struck in Denver, this coin belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Series, which ran from 1959 to 2008, featuring the famous reverse design of the Lincoln Memorial Building. While millions of these coins were minted for everyday circulation, a rare few from 1973, with the D mint mark, stand out due to their unique errors, conditions, and rarity, elevating them to a league of their own. The Lincoln Cent series itself began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, with the famous bust of Lincoln on the obverse that remains iconic to this day. By 1973, with the D mint mark, the coin continued the long-standing tradition of honoring the 16th president, while reflecting the economic and cultural spirit of the 1970s in the United States. The Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of pennies in 1973, with the D mint mark placed just beneath the date. Most of these coins were struck in copper, as the United States still used a 95% copper composition before the zinc transition in 1982. Yet within these vast numbers, certain rare examples from 1973, with the D mint mark, were preserved in pristine condition or struck with slight variations, making them particularly valuable to collectors. Coin errors are often what make ordinary coins extraordinary. A 1973 D Lincoln penny may exhibit misstrikes, double dies, off-center strikes, or other minting anomalies. Such features, while accidental, increase rarity and collector demand. The Denver Mint, though advanced for its time, occasionally produced these flawed pieces, which today command attention for their historical and collectible appeal. Condition also plays a major role in determining value. While most 1973 pennies circulated heavily, those preserved in uncirculated or mint state grades can be worth far more. Coins with strong luster, sharp details, and minimal scratches fall into higher grading categories, which directly influences their rarity and market price. The 1973 Lincoln penny also represents a transitional era for U.S. coinage. Inflation was rising, debates over metal costs were intensifying, and changes in U.S. coin compositions were on the horizon. This makes the penny not just a collectible object but also a piece of economic history. Collectors view such coins as physical reminders of the broader shifts in American society. Collectors worldwide seek specific 1973 examples, particularly those certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC. Such certifications provide assurance of authenticity and condition, two factors that significantly enhance market trust. The higher the grade, especially in categories like MS-67 or above, the rarer and more desirable the coin becomes. Auctions have shown that rare examples of the 1973 penny achieve remarkable results. When combined with public fascination for Lincoln cents, this creates fierce competition among buyers. Collectors, historians, and investors alike participate in these auctions, knowing that they are competing for a piece of history with limited availability. The role of rarity cannot be overstated. Out of the massive number minted, only a handful of coins survive in exceptional condition, or with unique minting errors, making them extraordinarily rare. It is this combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand that drives up the value of the 1973 Lincoln penny to unprecedented levels. In terms of value, the rarest examples of the 1973 Lincoln penny have reached staggering amounts in the coin market. Certain specimens, due to their flawless condition and scarcity, have been valued as high as $2.62 million. This astonishing figure demonstrates how an ordinary-looking coin can transform into a multimillion-dollar treasure when rarity and collector interest converge. The allure of the 1973 penny is not simply in its financial worth, but also in the story it tells. From its origins in the Denver Mint to its survival through decades of circulation and preservation, it carries with it the legacy of both the minting process and the people who recognized its uniqueness early on. Such coins become more than currency, they evolve into cherished artifacts of cultural memory. Next is the Lincoln penny has a long-standing place in American history, and the 1990 1 cent without a mint mark has emerged as one of the rarest and most valuable coins collectors ever dream of finding. Its story is not only tied to the era it was produced but also to the legacy of Abraham Lincoln himself, who remains a central figure on American coinage for more than a century. In 1990, the United States Mint continued its production of Lincoln cents, following the design introduced in 1959 featuring the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. These coins were part of everyday circulation, and millions were struck to meet public demand. Yet, among these millions, the absence of a mint mark on certain coins has set them apart in extraordinary ways. Most 1990 Lincoln pennies carry the mint mark from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, but a few without mint marks slipped through the minting process. This error or rarity has elevated them into a completely different category from their common counterparts. Instead of being overlooked pocket change, they became treasures worth the attention of serious numismatists. The rarity of the 1990 Lincoln penny without mint mark can be traced to an unusual oversight in the minting facilities. Typically, mint marks are struck on the dies to indicate where the coin was made, but in this rare case, the absence of the mark gave rise to an unintentional collectible. Such errors are what spark the fascination and excitement among coin enthusiasts who understand how something so small can lead to incredible value. Collectors place immense importance on details like mint marks, as these tiny features distinguish billions of coins from one another. The 1990 Lincoln penny without mint mark is an example of how a simple missing element can transform a coin from ordinary into legendary. Its rarity stems from this oversight, but its fame is fueled by the history of Lincoln pennies themselves and the stories they tell about American minting. Over the years, coin enthusiasts and professional graders have authenticated only a very limited number of these rare 1990 no mint mark pennies. The scarcity in the numismatic market has turned them into symbols of luck for those fortunate enough to come across one. Their presence in auctions often attracts national attention, with collectors competing for ownership of such a historically significant rarity. The design of the 1990 penny continues the legacy of Victor David Brenner, the original designer of the Lincoln cent, with his portrait of Lincoln on the obverse. The reverse featured the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of national pride and unity. With this blend of artistry and history, the coin carried deep meaning even before its rarity was revealed. Unlike ordinary 1990 cents that remain in abundance, the rare missing mintmark examples have captured the imagination of the collecting community. They represent the possibility that treasures can exist even in the smallest and most unexpected forms of currency, teaching collectors to never underestimate what they might hold in their hands. Auction houses across the world have confirmed the astonishing demand for the 1990 Lincoln penny without mintmark. Even coins in slightly worn conditions have been sold for remarkable sums. Yet, the most pristine, well-preserved examples achieve the highest recognition and spark fierce bidding wars, proving the incredible desire among collectors to own one. The highest recorded value of the 1990 Lincoln penny without mintmark has reached a staggering $1.42 million, a price that cements its place among the most valuable coins ever discovered in the Lincoln cent series. This immense worth reflects not only its rarity but also the passion of collectors who understand its historical and numismatic importance. When examining its story, the 1990 penny without mintmark embodies more than money. It shows how history, craftsmanship, and error can combine to produce something extraordinary. For many, the thrill lies not only in the coin's financial value but in the journey of discovery that coins like this represent. Ultimately, the rare 1990 Lincoln penny without mintmark stands as a reminder of how even the smallest details can shape great legacies. It is proof that within ordinary circulation, there can exist hidden treasures worth millions, waiting to be recognized for their remarkable place in history. Next is the 1-cent Lincoln penny 1976, without mintmark, holds a unique place in American numismatic history, representing not just currency but a cherished artifact of heritage. This small copper coin, though ordinary to many, is highly sought after by collectors due to its rarity and the absence of a mintmark. The year 1976 marked the bicentennial of the United States, and while most attention was given to special designs on quarters, half dollars, and dollars, the humble penny quietly carried its own importance. The absence of a mintmark on the 1976 penny indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This detail may appear small, but in coin collecting, even the tiniest difference can transform a coin from common to extraordinary. Many Philadelphia issues lack a mintmark, but the 1976 penny in pristine condition stands out due to the historical context of its production. Its rarity is amplified when flawless or error versions appear in collections. The Lincoln cent series has a legacy dating back to 1909, and each year reflects both American history and the story of Abraham Lincoln's enduring legacy. The 1976 penny carried this tradition forward during a time of national pride and reflection, as Americans celebrated 2 centuries of independence. Collectors value the connection this coin makes between Lincoln's image and the bicentennial era, making it more than just a monetary piece. Philadelphia Mint coins from the 1976 year were produced in massive numbers, but not all pennies survived in pristine condition. Circulation, wear, and damage eliminated many examples that could have held collectible value. As a result, finding an untouched, well-preserved 1976 penny without mintmark has become increasingly challenging, enhancing its desirability in the numismatic market. Another fascinating element of the 1976 Lincoln penny lies in its metal composition. Pennies of this era were still made primarily of copper, before the transition to copper-plated zinc in 1982. Collectors prize copper coins for their durability, tone, and the aesthetic beauty of their natural aging process. This adds yet another layer of appeal to the 1976 issue, especially for those who focus on transitional eras in U.S. coinage. Condition plays a critical role in determining the value of a 1976 penny without mintmark. While circulated examples hold sentimental or symbolic worth, uncirculated or proof-like coins can command staggering prices. The grading scale used by collectors magnifies small differences, and a coin with sharp details and original luster can drastically outshine an average piece. The rarest 1976 coins achieve legendary recognition in the coin community. Collectors also look for unique die errors in the 1976 penny that add a layer of exclusivity. Misstrikes, double dies, and unusual features make these coins even more fascinating. Such error coins are often auctioned at higher values, as they represent a combination of rarity, history, and the unpredictability of the minting process. Each error tells its own story and adds character to the already prized 1976 issue. The cultural impact of Lincoln pennies like the 1976, without mintmark, cannot be overstated. Generations of Americans carried them, saved them, and passed them down, embedding these coins with memories and significance. A single penny may seem small, but it reflects broader narratives of resilience, pride, and the symbolic weight of Lincoln himself. Over the decades, interest in the 1976 penny has only grown. Numismatists, historians, and passionate collectors seek it as part of completing Lincoln cent collections or as an individual centerpiece. Its presence in auctions continues to surprise, as bidders eagerly compete for rare specimens. The 1976 coin endures as a symbol of how ordinary objects can hold extraordinary value in the right context. The value of the 1-cent Lincoln penny 1976, without mintmark, has reached extraordinary levels in certain conditions. In rare uncirculated states, this coin has been appraised and sold for as much as $2.30 million, cementing its reputation as one of the most valuable modern pennies. This immense value highlights how rarity, history, and condition can elevate a simple cent into a treasure worth millions. Next is the 1-cent Lincoln penny 1985, without mintmark, holds a special place due to its rarity and demand. Struck during a time when coinage in America was transitioning through subtle design and production shifts, this coin represents a unique piece of numismatic heritage. Collectors regard it as a historical symbol of American currency tied to the legacy of Abraham Lincoln himself. When we look at the broader picture of Lincoln pennies, the 1985, without mintmark, is particularly noteworthy because it belongs to the era when the U.S. Mint was producing coins in both copper and copper-plated zinc compositions. This period brought about challenges in consistency and quality, which occasionally gave rise to rare and unusual varieties. The absence of a mintmark on this penny further adds to its intrigue, as it links directly to coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint, traditionally responsible for striking large quantities of pennies, did not always mark coins with its mintmark. The 1-cent Lincoln penny 1985, without mintmark, is an example of this practice, which sometimes confuses new collectors but excites seasoned numismatists. The combination of its date, design, and missing mintmark makes this coin distinctive compared to other regular issues of the same decade. In terms of design, this coin carries the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a feature that has remained consistent since 1909. The reverse, showcasing the Lincoln Memorial, reflects the nation's respect for its 16th president. Though seemingly common in appearance, the 1985, without mintmark, penny hides an exceptional story of rarity beneath its simple design. Collectors see beyond the everyday look and recognize its potential as a treasure in their collections. The rarity of this penny is linked not only to its production but also to its survival in pristine condition. Many circulated heavily and lost their luster, making uncirculated examples of the 1985, without mintmark, penny especially scarce. For collectors, finding one in near-perfect condition is like uncovering a gem. Since demand for such specimens has grown with time, another factor driving its desirability is the coin's place in American numismatic culture. The Lincoln series already commands respect among hobbyists, and the 1985, without mintmark, penny stands out within that legacy. It bridges the transition of old copper coins and newer zinc-based coins, making it a key piece that represents a shift in minting practices during the 1980s. Over the years, this coin has sparked interest among experts who track the values of rare pennies. Auction records show that whenever a top-quality 1985, without mintmark, penny appears on the market, competition becomes fierce. Collectors bid aggressively, knowing that opportunities to secure such a coin are extremely rare. This competitive atmosphere has steadily driven its value upward. Condition plays a major role in determining the worth of this penny. While a circulated 1985, without mintmark, penny may not attract much attention, those preserved in mint state or higher grades can be worth extraordinary amounts. It is this contrast between the common and the rare that fascinates both casual collectors and serious investors. the historical appeal also enhances its standing in the marketplace. Owning a 1-cent Lincoln penny 1985, without mint mark, is like holding a slice of American history in your hands. It tells a story not only of Lincoln but also of the mint's evolving practices, collectors' dedication, and the broader cultural importance of U.S. coinage. In terms of market value, a top-condition 1-cent Lincoln penny 1985, without mint mark, has been known to fetch as high as $1.70 million at auctions. This staggering price reflects both its scarcity and the intensity of collector demand. Such values place the coin among the most prized Lincoln pennies ever discovered, proving that even the smallest denomination can reach monumental worth. For collectors, this value is not only financial but also symbolic. The 1985, without mint mark, penny serves as a reminder that attention to detail and knowledge of history can transform a simple coin into a life-changing discovery. Its extraordinary value encourages people to look closely at the coins in their possession, as treasures may hide in plain sight. Next is the 1-cent Lincoln penny 1993, with the D mint mark, carries with it a remarkable piece of American coinage history that fascinates collectors and numismatists alike. It is more than just a small copper-plated zinc coin, it represents the continuation of a long-standing tradition that began in 1909 with the introduction of the Lincoln cent to honor President Abraham Lincoln on the centennial of his birth. The 1993 penny with the D mint mark was minted in Denver, one of the major production sites for U.S. coinage. Denver's coins are known for their precision and high production numbers, but occasionally an error or rarity slips into circulation, creating coins that become legends in the world of collecting. By 1993, the penny had already transitioned from being composed mostly of copper to the modern copper-plated zinc format. This change had taken place in 1982, and by 1993, all pennies featured the lighter composition. While this seems like a minor detail, it added to the challenges of striking coins without flaws, which in turn contributed to rare error coins from the year. The obverse of the 1993 penny with the D mint mark displays the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials, VDB, rest subtly on the coin, honoring his contribution to America's most enduring coin design. This portrait is instantly recognizable, connecting the penny with over a century of history. On the reverse of the 1993 Lincoln penny with the D mint mark is the Lincoln Memorial design, which had been used since 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This reverse design allowed even the smallest coin in U.S. currency to carry monumental symbolism, tying the nation's memory of Lincoln to one of its most circulated coins. Collectors prize the 1993 penny with the D mint mark for a number of reasons, but the most significant comes down to scarcity and condition. While millions were minted, very few survived in pristine, uncirculated condition or with special error characteristics, making them exceptionally rare today. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny has become one of the most popular series for collectors, and the 1993 Denver Mint coin occupies a special place within this tradition. Each coin tells its own story, and finding one in exceptional quality is like holding a piece of history that has endured beyond normal circulation. Many examples of the 1993 penny with the D mint mark may look ordinary, but sharp-eyed collectors know how to distinguish the unique from the common. Slight variations, striking errors, or coins preserved in perfect mint state can transform a simple penny into a rare treasure worth staggering amounts of money. As auctions and private sales have shown, certain 1993 Lincoln pennies with the D mint mark have stunned the collecting world with their realized values. The combination of rarity, demand, and historical appeal makes them one of the most sought-after modern pennies in existence. In terms of value, the rarest known example of the 1993 1-cent Lincoln penny with the D mint mark has been appraised and sold for as much as $1.17 million. This incredible figure highlights not only the financial worth but also the cultural importance of this tiny coin that once passed unnoticed through daily life. Such astronomical prices for a penny minted in 1993 underscore the importance of careful examination of even the most common-looking coins. It is proof that treasures can hide in plain sight, and that knowledge and attention to detail can turn pocket change into a life-changing discovery. The legacy of the 1993 Lincoln penny with the D mint mark is therefore not just about its material value, but about the story it tells of American history, craftsmanship, and the enduring fascination people have with rare coins. It is a reminder that within something as small as a cent lies a tale worth millions. Next is the 1-cent Lincoln penny from 2003, without mint mark, is among the rarest and most fascinating modern coins ever to capture the attention of collectors and historians alike. Its significance lies not only in its age but also in the striking details that set it apart from other pennies minted in the same year. Despite being a relatively recent coin, it has earned a legendary place in numismatic circles because of its rarity, mysterious background, and exceptional value. The 2003 Lincoln penny carries on the iconic design originally created by Victor David Brenner in 1909. On the obverse, it features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This design is not just a tribute to Lincoln himself but also a symbol of American resilience, leadership, and the fight for unity during one of the nation's most defining periods in history. The reverse of the 2003 penny continues with the classic Lincoln Memorial design, first introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This memorial depiction captures not only the architectural beauty of Washington, D.C. but also reminds collectors of the deeper connection between currency and national heritage. For many, this reverse is a nostalgic part of American coinage that reflects both tradition and artistry. The absence of a mint mark on the 2003 penny makes it particularly unusual. Mint marks typically indicate whether a coin was struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. However, in some rare cases, coins are produced without any mint mark, often by error or under highly limited circumstances. This factor alone makes the 2003 no mint mark Lincoln penny one of the most desirable finds for collectors. Collectors and experts believe that the 2003 penny without mint mark was produced in very small numbers, possibly due to a mistake at the minting facility. While the majority of 2003 pennies feature the expected markings, a handful of coins slip through the system unnoticed, leading to a modern rarity that has stunned even seasoned coin hunters. Over the years, the 2003 Lincoln penny has sparked countless discussions among numismatists regarding its true origins. Was it an unintentional oversight, or was it an intentional test strike that found its way into circulation? This lingering mystery only fuels the fascination and desire to own such a coin, making it a true treasure within the world of rare currency. The condition of the 2003 penny plays a crucial role in its collectability. Those preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition with full luster and no scratches are the most highly sought after. Even lightly circulated examples attract attention, as their rarity outweighs minor imperfections. For collectors, securing one in mint state is considered the ultimate achievement. Beyond its physical design and striking absence of mint mark, the 2003 penny reflects how small errors can lead to extraordinary value. In the vast production runs of coins, tiny anomalies often pass unnoticed, but once discovered, they become highlights of numismatic history. This is precisely why collectors dedicate endless hours to examining every detail of coins from even the most common years. As time passes, the 2003 penny has gained legendary status because of its extreme scarcity and the intrigue that surrounds it. Unlike coins that were minted in millions or billions, its limited availability makes it a key highlight in rare coin discussions. This rarity transforms what appears to be an everyday penny into $1 million collectible. In terms of value, the 2003 Lincoln penny without mint mark has been recorded at astonishing prices. In pristine, uncirculated condition, experts have valued it as high as $650,000, a staggering figure for what began as a humble 1-cent coin. This incredible value underscores just how desirable and important this penny has become in the world of numismatics.